Let's chat about the causes of World War II. Now, unfortunately, this video is going to be vague in some parts, so there's some names and words that I can't use, but hopefully you'll be able to fill in the blanks and figure out what I mean. So the first cause of World War II was the Treaty of Versailles. After World War I, Germany was forced to sign the Treaty of Versailles, which severely punished Germany for her role in that war. Germans greatly resented this treaty. Terms included the fact that Germany had to sign a war guilt clause accepting full responsibility for the war. They had to pay back £6.6 billion in reparations or compensation. They could not enter an area known as the Rhineland. They lost a piece of land called the Polish Corridor. The German army was reduced to 100,000 men, and union with Austria or Anschluss was forbidden. The German leader wanted to make Germany great again, but his aim was bound to disturb peace in Europe because it meant taking over non-German territory. The German leader had three main aims. He wanted to unite all German-speaking people to form a greater Germany called Großdeutschland. He wanted to abolish the Treaty of Versailles, and he wanted to obtain Lebensraum or living space in Eastern Europe for his greater Germany. As soon as the German leader came to power, he began to destroy the Treaty of Versailles. In 1935, rearmament began. In 1936, he remilitarized the Rhineland. And in 1938, he united Germany and Austria. And again, this was called the Anschluss. Next, the German leader laid claim to the Sudetenland. So this was the German-speaking part of Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia, however, refused to hand over the Sudetenland. A meeting called the Munich Conference was held to sort out the issue. Britain, France, Italy and Germany all attended, but Czechoslovakia was not invited, even though they were discussing the future of part of Czechoslovakia. The Czechs were forced to hand over the Sudetenland to Germany. The British leader Chamberlain claimed that he had achieved peace in our time. But 6 months later, the German leader took over the rest of Czechoslovakia, even though the Sudetenland was meant to be like his last land grab. The German leader could no longer claim to be uniting all German-speaking people, as he was not welcomed in the rest of Czechoslovakia as he had been in the Sudetenland, Austria and the Rhineland. The League of Nations was set up after World War I to promote international cooperation and achieve international peace. But they failed to stop Germany, Italy and Japan from expanding beyond their borders. This was because they had a number of weaknesses. America did not join, all decisions had to be unanimous, and the League had no army to protect weaker countries. Britain and France gave in to so many of Germany's demands because they followed a policy called appeasement. They believed that by giving in to these demands, they would prevent war. But some people argued by just giving the German leader everything he wanted, like he was never going to stop, he was going to continue demanding more and more and more. Fascists and communists hated each other, but in 1939, the German leader and the Soviet leader surprised the world when they signed a treaty or an agreement between the two. They agreed to a 10-year non-aggression pact, which the German leader later broke. They agreed to divide Poland between themselves. This pact meant that the German leader could invade Poland without risking war on his eastern side. This pact also gave the Russians time to build up their army after it had been severely damaged by the purges and show trials. The Polish corridor separated Germany from one of her provinces, East Prussia. The German leader demanded the return of the Polish corridor, but Poland refused. Britain and France supported Poland, but the German leader believed that they were too far away to actually help Poland. On the 1st of September 1939, the German leader invaded Poland. And 2 days later, on the 3rd of September 1939, Britain and France declared war on Germany. In the 1930s, Japan expanded into China. The League of Nations failed to stop this. Japan also invaded Indochina, or modern-day Vietnam. The US imposed economic sanctions on Japan. Japan decided to destroy the US Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. This attack in December of 1941 brought the US into the war. America did not join the League of Nations after World War I. Even though America was the most powerful country in the world, she hoped to stay isolated and away from any future conflict. However, America was forced to take action because of Japanese expansion in Asia.